It's 2026 and rod PvP has never been more dead, probably than it is right now, maybe. But I still get a lot of people asking me what they can do to improve their rod, or I guess good playstyles, counter certain pings, or certain playstyles such. I'm also making this video to prove that I don't rod macro or auto click. I've been getting a lot of accusations, mainly rod macro, but some auto click accusations. I do neither. This is my main mouse for PvP. I have two. This is I normal click normally, just 10 CPS ish, sometimes a little less, sometimes 11. Then I have this mouse for butterfly clicking, where I can get up to 22 sometimes, but it usually sits around like 18, 20. But unfortunately, this mouse has been broken for a little while, and when I'm in game, it'll randomly I guess turn off for like a second or two, sometimes longer, and I'm just stuck not being able to move or click. So I got this mouse, thought I could maybe butterfly click with it, and this one you cannot butterfly click. 10 CPS, 13. Not very good for butterfly clicking, but if you're looking to get good at rod PvP, I guess this video might be somewhat helpful. I'm not really great at explaining things if you can't already tell, but I'm going to do my best to explain decisions I make, why I'm making them, and just show how I play, I guess. And it's going to be kind of subjective because I am on really low MS, like 10 ping, so of course my rod is going to be a lot faster than someone on 50 MS, 100 MS, stuff like that. So I might go on European servers after this, after I play someone here, to show how you could play on higher ping and still get pretty good results against, you know, low ping players. But if you're newish to rod PvP and looking to get better, I think the first thing you should do is get optimized keybinds. And optimal keybinds are going to be keybinds that allow you to switch to your rod and sword without having to take your fingers off of your movement keys. So for me, what I use shift for my sword, and my rod is my mouse button, which is not exactly the most optimal if you're a UHC player or an SG player, because it messes up your looting and the way you bring stuff in your inventory. I'll show what I mean later. So a more optimal keybind for your sword, in my opinion, would probably be caps lock, because you don't want to have that problem with hotkeying. But for me, I've had my pinky rested on shift like whenever I use a keyboard, so it's a lot simpler for me. And I figured out a way basically to hotkey stuff without like sending shit back into the chest. I use 45 sensitivity, 95 FOV, dynamic FOV off, and I suppose I'll be playing mostly classic because there's a lot more in final UHC or build UHC, like lavas and such, blocks. But there's not really anyone queuing right now, so I'll cut to when I'm in a match. Unfortunately, NA is really dead right now, so a lot of the people I'm fighting might be like really high MS. But if you're learning these keybinds, something I did to really help me be able to move freely is practice holding like A or D in one direction and just sending out your rod without stopping back and forth. So what I'm looking for, like when I start a fight, basically just seeing the way they play, the way they move, what they're trying to do. This guy doesn't seem to be great. And if I'm really bad at explaining this, I'm sorry, but I've never been really good at explaining things. So this guy's lower MS. First thing I do is I just try and get a feel for how he's gonna play by just moving back and forth, getting him to rod. Go for a jump right here. few with my lower CPS mouse, and then I'll do some butterfly clicking. When I'm butterfly clicking, I'm kind of sacrificing a little bit of, I guess, aim, because I hold my hand differently to the mouse, and that is fluent in my rods. But the high CPS sometimes makes up for it. If I'm playing someone really good, I would rather have low CPS and really good aim than higher CPS, and I'm mixing my rods. Score rodding is also really optimal. If the mouse button isn't exactly working for you, score rodding is also a really good way. But what I'm doing basically is I'm just moving, trying to be unpredictable until I get in the right distance to where I can hit one rod and just go in, press W or jump, and get that first hit. But you'll never really see me like holding a straight W. Like, it'll work, but you need to be able to W tap. You can't really just hold W and left click and click to win fights. You gotta put some W taps in there. And a good way to practice this, like learning the hit timing and knockback, at least on my main club, is to play boxing. It helps a lot with tracking, hit timing, and W taps and such. If you can track someone in boxing with speed 2, then you can definitely do it in rod PvP. This guy isn't really pressing much W, but to keep the pressure. And more importantly than rod speed, in my opinion at least, rod accuracy, I could just move around, not hit any rods, just wait for the perfect rod to go in. And really, the only rod that matters is like the last rod you get before you're about to go in. If you're playing someone better and they're sending out a lot of rods, you might have to try and out-rod them or counter them, but for the most part, you don't really need to be rod spamming far away. It helps if you can hit all your rods in a row while you're far and high pressure, not allow them to move forward on you, but for the most part, all that really matters is your last rod you're about to hit. And also, more importantly than CPS is, I think, in my opinion, like consistent CPS. So something I'll do is I'll start my CPS before I'm going in. So like right before I use my rod, my CPS is still kind of going. And if you can learn to click with your mouse while you're rodding, it's basically the same concept as auto clicking. You just have continuous hits. You don't have to stop clicking to hit rods. So I'll kind of show what I mean. Keep clicking. I'll click with 5 CPS, so you kind of see what I mean. Continuous CPS is more important than just high CPS. I'm only clicking from 5 to 6, but while I'm rodding, so as soon as I switch over to my sword, CPS is already going, which is the same concept as auto clicking, basically. What I'm trying to focus on mostly when I'm fighting someone is just to keep my movement unpredictable. You don't want to just be holding W and let them hit a bunch of rods on you. You want them to kind of not know what you're going to do next. And this guy, he's not great. I want to kind of try to fight someone a bit better, so you can see how I play against people that are putting up a good fight. What I have to do to win against better players. But as you can see, my rods are really smooth and really fast, in my opinion. But when you're on higher MS, you really need to only focus on rod accuracy, which isn't as easy as, of course, delay rods. But I'll show some gameplay on some higher ping. Maybe go to Asia. I'm like 240 ms on them. So let's get this guy killed real quick. Do a few more with them, and then maybe go to Europe. Hold on, let me switch to my 20 CPS mouse to show what that gameplay is like. It's a bit heavier, it's a good bit heavier. Hold on, I think my DPI is fucked up. Okay. Another good thing to kind of keep in mind is that block hits kind of serve as like W taps in a way. So you could start a combo by getting a hit and block hitting instead of having W tap. I'll try and do that. Basically, you're just rotting them, waiting to get like the perfect hit range. And like I said, boxing is a really good way to figure out what kind of hit range you need to be at, depending on your ping and how far away you can be from someone to hit them before they can hit you back. I might play a few Fauna UHCs so you can see what that's like. Go back to my mouse. It's a good bit of people playing right now. Might be able to get someone good. But I have a feeling it's going to be mostly high MS players. And a lot of people, like lower ping people, ask me like ways to play against high ping people because they say that they seem to like hit through, say your VAS or something. And it's honestly really simple. It's spacing. So you need to like, I don't know, let's get this guy going on. I haven't played in a few days, by the way, so my gameplay might not be as clean as it normally is, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. I'm not exactly playing like I would in ranked. I think we're gonna get a lobby trap on this guy. That lava. classic. This guy is 70 MS. In this match, I'm gonna try not to like send out a bunch of rods and only hit the ones. Like, just try to be as accurate as possible. You can see the difference between sending out a lot of rods and just focusing on your accuracy. And as I say that, I'm missing all my rods. So this guy, he's going to be able to get double hits on me, where I wouldn't be able to hit him back. So when you're playing against someone like that, you just need to keep the distance and only go in when you're able to get the first hit. Get crits like that. See what I can do. I'm Chris if I'm playing low CPS. Another good way to play against higher MS people if you're on lower MS is to have really deep strafes, because when you're on higher MS, it's really hard. Like, your rod doesn't exactly go out straight. It does, but it's delayed, and you kind of have to lead your rod, especially if someone has like deep strafes left or right. It's hard for them to track you. So that's a good way to start combos if you're playing someone with higher MS. I'll do like 2 or 3 more on this pin. Believe it or not, my rod accuracy is kind of down today, I feel like. Straight noobs today. The way to counter bow boosting on Lightning Club is you just simply have to hold S for a second and back up. I'm gonna try and give him the bow boost into me. Hold S, back up, hit. Oh shit. No, I don't lose these. I'm about to lose this. show like the way you have to play against someone that's better or knows what they're doing when it comes to rock PvP. Second, let him queue. This will be my last one on NA. Situation like this, you really don't want to continue fighting someone while you're low. Just run them back and reset back to full. Especially if you know you're higher on healing, you don't really need to risk going all in if you're playing rank or something like that. So on EU, I sit around 95 to 100 ping, which isn't exactly high MS, but it's considerably higher. It's noticeably higher than playing on 10 ping, but that being said, you still can beat players that are, you know, good with rodding, hit fast rods, but it's different. So something like the way I try to play when I'm on high ping is kind of sitting back and waiting for them to hold W, which is a lot of people don't like that playstyle, but if you're playing someone, you know, really good with the rod, you're not gonna be able to manage their rod if they're like considerably lower MS. It's just not possible. But I try to imagine that I have like a 3-point something block reach, because it kind of is how it is, except your rod is slower. You can hit people from technically further away for them. And you would be able to lower MS with the trade-off of having a lot slower rods. But another thing you have to focus on is letting your rods actually cast out for longer than you would have to on lower MS. That guy wasn't fucked with it. Gum crits also are a lot easier to get like double hits on higher MS. imagine that like I have to do everything like a block, for your bag, and I'm going to open. Because you're just delayed. You gotta wait a little bit longer. Basically everything. Like right there, that was a nice double hit. I would not have been able to get higher or lower MS from that distance at least. This guy's giving up. This is an alt account, by the way. This account's my cousin's, but I'm in disguise right now. Let the guy heal up so he doesn't play like this. He wants to. Excuse me. Don't exactly know. His friend was there. Excuse me. This guy's 24 ping. Another way I like to think about it when I'm playing on high ping is to start doing everything sooner. Like start clicking sooner because you can hit them further away. That's something you don't want to do when you're on high ping is because for the most part you want to stay considerable distance. You're gonna win most of the trades if you're up in their face and in like a closer distance than like the furthest you can hit them away. If that makes sense. If you notice, I do have to leave my rods a little bit more than I would have to if I was on safe rods. But it's not impossible to hit your rods. some follow GQ maybe. Do a few more here, and then go to Asia. See if there's anyone there. So this guy, he's just keeping that distance, waiting for the perfect time, but I just shit. That hit me, but didn't register, I guess. Keep shooting these areas. It's got a little lag spike in him right now. It's going 40 to 100. It's gonna be a good fight, I think. Let him come to me. Oh, I think that's fake lag. That is indeed. That's alright. I can make it happen. It's gonna be tough though. It's going to 100 ping. That's something. Keep the pressure. It's alright. We have no arrows now. Beggars with. Oh my gosh. He has no arrows. There we go. Let him come here. He's gonna gap after every trade that I win big here. Guys, 20 MS. Fucking god spammer. This guy's pretty decent actually. He's not sending out more rockets than he can hit. He just hit him. Good accuracy. Yeah, that's it. Say 2 more. Just getting right in there. second, maybe get a different cue. Someone better. Change the crosshair. This will be our last fight on the EU. Let's do the 20 CPS mouse for this fight. 20 CPS is, oh. There we go. It's pretty nice when you're on a higher ping. That seems pretty good. Pretty decent. I don't like that. If you're from NA and you ever go to play on the EU with higher MS, don't expect them to be very friendly about it. These guys, anything higher than 50 MS seems like might get some pretty mean messages. But let's go to Asia. We got no one queuing here. So there's no one queue on Asia. We'll do a few more on NA. I don't think I did a great job at all explaining how I play, to be honest. But I don't really know how to explain it. This game really is not that hard to get good at. If you just watch someone that's good, watch how they play, and just try and play like them, you'll probably get good pretty quickly. Compared to other games, this game is one of the easiest to get, good at. I think it's less about like your actual rod mechanics and more your playstyle. I'll do one of these and then another video. Trading rods. Honest. Wants the fight to end quick. I can do that if he wants. If you got someone in a corner like this, you kind of want to keep them on the wall, because love is. You don't really have the option to back up and S-hold you out of hits. Like an auto trap maybe. I don't think I will. Let's do one more. Same ping. if you want like a hand cam video or me trying to go more in depth, I suppose, about how I play, I can make it happen, but we'll see based on the engagement of this video. But yeah, if you want a better explanation, just let me know. Sorry that I'm so shit at explaining things, but that's how I play. Don't play with auto clicker, don't run macro. And hope you gained a little something from this in this day and age of Minecraft Raw PvP 1.8. And yeah, that's how the #1 classic player Raw PvPs.